The array index out of bounds exception, the second most exception which we get in our coding, that is nothing but null pointer exception. That is nothing but null pointer exception. Null pointer exception. This exception is also common while we are dealing with the database and some query you are going to run. If the data is not coming, if the data is not available in a database, then we will come across this null pointer exception. Basically, in Java 8, we have the optional class basically to handle this null pointer exception only. But without optional class, how we will handle this null pointer exception, we will going to see in this video. Okay. First of all, we will see when we will get the exception and how we are going to handle this exception using the try and catch block. Okay. The first point is nothing but this exception occurs when we try to access the object which refers to the null value. Okay. This exception occurs when we are trying to access the object which refers to the null value. This exception occurs when we are trying to access the object which refers to the null value. And if you consider in the Java, object must be instantiated before they can be used. Okay. In Java, object must be instantiated before they can use. This is a point, first point. The second point is nothing but if we are calling if you are calling this without instantiation the object, then we will get this exception. Okay, we are attempting to call without instantiation then this exception will be thrown. This is also an this is also this is also child class of runtime exception, and hence it is unchecked exception. The compiler, sorry, the JVM will automatically raise this exception when when we are trying to perform operations on the null. Null pointer exceptions will occur when we are trying to access the object which refers to the null value. Then this type of exception we will get. This is also an agile class of runtime exceptions. Then it is also an unchecked exception. So now we are going to check how this exception will be raised in our programming. See, I am going to be creating an string object which refers to a null value. Okay. Now what I am doing, Now I'll do, now what I will do, I will, I want to find out, now I want to find out length of this string. Length is equal to str dot length. See, because we are assigned this string object as a null value, now we are going to tick want to print length of the string, but basically here is we assign it to null. So if you are going to perform any operation on null, then we will get null pointer exception. So we are trying to perform operation on this null, like we want to get the length of this particular string, but this string is assigned to null, so we will get null pointer exception length LEMGTH. Save, and I'm trying to run this one. See, java.lang.null pointer exception cannot invoke string.length because str is null. So this types of exception, null pointer exception, will get so many times in our Java. If you want to handle this exception, we need a proper try catch block. Okay. But in Java 8, we are using optional class to handle this exception. But with using try and catch also, we will handle this exception. So this line number six is in this is line number six is nothing but a risky code for this one. So what I will do, I will keep this one in a try block. Try block. So if I get exception, okay, if null pointer exception, if I get exception on this particular, then the exception will be thrown like one way in a user understandable manner. The message should be in a user understandable. Okay. The object not instantiated properly. The object not instantiated properly. Please, please instantiate before use. Please instantiate object before use. Now we will get this message rather than this one. The Java null pointer exception cannot invoke string.length because string is null. So we will going to get right now the object not instantiated properly. Please instantiate object before use. So I'm going to run this one. Let's see. See, the object not instantiated properly. Please instantiate object before use. This is how we are handled the null pointer exception. This is second exception.